Okay, welcome back to the morning after, everybody. We're back, but we just went through a weird rainstorm here in California. It was like coming down for a good 7 minutes. Torrential, like Matthew said, it's really like really big raindrops, like not a lot, just like massive, and now it's gone.
I feel like no matter what happens in California, it's go big or go home. There's no in between.
That is actually very true.
Yeah.
Also, the heat has started to pick up here. It is hot in the valley. Yeah, and you know how hot it gets here. So that is I don't know. I like summer. I don't like summer. Summer is great for the first like week. And then after that, I'm ready for my kids, one, to go back to school, two, to have bedtimes, three, just for me to have a schedule. But summer is so like sporadic.
It's draining. I mean, weather-wise, here's what I'm going to remind you. You are so far removed now from your Atlanta, Detroit, any East Coast roots.
Hmm.
Because, like,
Yeah.
summer hits here and, you remember, people lose their minds. It's like tops down, life's good, people are smiling. I mean, people you've never smiled at and said hello to, you're hugging at Target. I
I
mean,
love
you're
it.
just like, the sun is shining. But that heat where you are is almost oppressive.
Y-
Um,
Yeah.
it's hard to describe it. And then you
It
drive 30 minutes and it's lovely.
It's the difference between here and just on the coast, like in Malibu. Malibu is the coast that's closest to us. It's 25-degree difference. It is wild. The weather here is wild to me in a lot of ways. And I know people are like, it's California. And I know we have really great weather, but summertime in the valley is really hard.
Can be
Like,
tricky.
yeah, I want to get my kids. I didn't sign my kids up for any sports camps in the valley. Like, I'm taking them down to Malibu for soccer and tennis because it's outside and they will literally pass out here.
Which can be for you about what, 30 minutes without traffic?
Yeah. Yeah, which is on.
It's just a lot. But I mean, what it is people build it into their lives there. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
different than even you hear about traffic in Atlanta or other places that's different.
Mhm.
Again, it's not like in the middle. It hits big time. Like you
Yeah.
plan your day based on when you're going somewhere.
I honestly plan to have I plan an hour in the car for wherever I'm going. If it's downtown LA, I plan longer. But like even when I'm planning to go to Malibu and it is a 25 to 30-minute drive, I leave an hour early
Yeah.
because I don't know if there's going to be construction on the mountain roads or just a lot of people. And if I get there early, my favorite thing to do is sit in the car because you know what? No one can bother me in the car. I have no kids. I sit there, I relax, I catch up. Matthew's like, "What? Why wouldn't you just like get out and like go stretch?" I'm like, "Who does that? Get
Yeah.
out and go stretch." Like, no, I gotta like, I'm gonna get some shit done, or I'm gonna watch a show on my phone. One or the other. I'm a happy place in my car. I get to turn the heat on high, and I'm so happy in the car. I don't know why. It just is as it is. It is what it
Quiet.
is. Yes, it's quiet.
I'm assuming your car without anybody else in it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. If the kids are in it, it's not so fun.
I have a dentist appointment in 2 weeks and I'm counting it down like it's New Year's Eve. I'm so excited because no one can talk to me on my phone. I can't answer a text. I have to check out completely. But listen, this is also a 50-year-old man with zero cavities. So for me, it's like a holiday. Like I'm
You've
like,
had Wait, hold on. You've had zero cavities?
never.
Do you live? Like,
I live well.
I just don't know. That just tells me you don't eat enough sugar and like have it like a nice life.
Maybe there's a little extra fluoride in my sea glass. I don't know, but it is. I'm thumping and thriving. They get excited to see me. I get excited to see them. I can't talk to anybody. My flight home, my Wi-Fi wasn't working. I'm like, this is lovely.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you've had no cavities, but I've
Mhm.
had like 10. And not to mention my two front teeth died, but that was from getting hit. I got hit a bunch. I was at elbow level in basketball, so they just hit me in the mouth. But my two front teeth used to be gray because they were completely dead. And then I've had like, I don't know, 12 cavities. So I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there's not a tooth back there that's not filled. I don't think.
All right.
But there you
It'll-
go. We're two different people. I enjoy sugar. I don't enjoy the dentist. And I enjoy my car with heat on. So there you go. Now, speaking of cars, we're going to get to our It's a Lot. I was driving back from tennis today, and there was a cop behind me. And do you ever get like super nervous when there's a cop behind you?
Instantly.
Instantly. I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, shit. What was I doing? I don't even know. So I am now thinking, I'm in my head, I'm going, he's checking my license plate.
Mhm.
Like, do I have any outstanding warrants? I don't know. Like, do I have any unpaid tickets I am unsure of? I don't know. I'm starting to sweat. I turned down the heat finally. And then I remember, oh my gosh, I do have an outstanding balance on a toll. Do you
Oh,
ever get those texts? And maybe it's just California, but I get these texts that are like, you have an outstanding toll balance, pay here to click. I don't know if they're scammers or not. I don't know if I am going to click on this and they're going to get all my information. And normally I err on the side of not clicking on it because I feel like that's the better solution.
mhm.
Until you have a cop behind you and you're like, shit, I haven't paid the toll bill that was texted to me 4 years ago because I thought it was a scam. Not only that, I got an email the other day that was like, here's your receipt for your PayPal purchase of eCoin or some Bitcoin or something. And I'm like, the fuck? It's like, I didn't purchase any Bitcoin. And so then I'm now in my head, I'm like, oh my God, someone hacked into my account. So at
Yeah.
the bottom, it says, if this was not you, click here. Well, then I was like, hold on. And I looked at the email that was sent it, and it was some random fucking Gmail.
Yeah.
But it looked legit. Like it didn't even have like, it just in the fine print in the bottom, if this wasn't you, click here. And it looked very much like, oh, because normally it's like fraud alert, protect your account, click here. But this is like very small. They're getting very smart. And I don't like it because I'm not very smart and I'm going to get scammed and I'm going to get all my shit taken. And then Matthew's going to look at me and roll his eyes and be like, again? You did it again?
Yeah.
I mean,
First of all, you are very smart. Second of all, I'm just
thank
taking
you.
this last 3 minutes of everything you just said and airing it tomorrow at 5 o'clock on the news. Just the absolute raw. Local woman speaks out about potentially being scammed. Because here's the problem. First of all, never click the links.
Never, right?
And the toll, I'm getting the toll text, and there's no tolls in Michigan. People are getting them all over the country. Now, in that moment, you're probably like, oh shit, I need to click this link, pay that toll so he sees it's paid. Meantime, you have no idea that somebody right now in a cave 8,000 miles away has just accessed Matthew and yours bank account and it's empty.
It's gone. It
It's
is
gone.
gone. I'm telling you though, they're getting really smart, and it makes me nervous because I do use the toll, and I don't have the toll pass, and I got to pay it somewhere. But I feel like I have an account set up that like automatically pays the toll. But then when it tells me that I haven't paid, I kind of believe it. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, because there are a lot of toll roads in California,
Yeah.
especially when you go south. But like, it is honestly, it's scary how smart either computers or people or both are getting. And
Is there toll in Georgia?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because Florida gets it, and sometimes I leave Florida and then I'll get one, and I'm like, I thought I hit the Sun Pass, and then I don't. You don't remember. I'll tell you what scares the living crap out of me, and I don't think people are paying enough attention to it, is AI. It is
Oh my God.
going to absolutely cripple us, and those, we hear about those grandparent scams. When somebody elderly gets a call and somebody muffles their voice to make it sound like their grandchild and say that they need help. They're going to just actually take audio from something like this, from Instagram, Facebook. I mean, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to splice our words together and create a scenario that sounds so real that I don't know how we're going to navigate all of that. It terrifies me.
No, I mean, I don't. This is something that I don't like to think about because, again, I am not brilliant enough to know what all AI is about. And that's what scares me because I'm like, I feel like I could be talking to Matthew and it's not Matthew.
Exactly. That's what's
Like that's, yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what we're going to do. But until then, we're going to figure out the scammers and then we'll move on to the AI, who's for sure smarter than us.
100%.
All right. What's your It's a Lot?
My It's a Lot involves my sweet daughter's awareness of the world. And I know you live
Oh,
this and breathe this, and it's a very good thing. I'll give you two examples. Number one, she just kind of put together exactly what a judge does. Like she comprehended it now, right?
wow.
So
Okay.
we'll be together. This was an example last week. We were all together, the three of us, and Emma was trying to get her way about something. And she goes, well, I have an idea. We could do it this way or we could do it that way. I think judge makes the decision. And I'm like, oh shit. It just clicked for her.
Oh my
Like she was
gosh.
literally like, she goes, he makes decisions. And then he bought her a little rubber gavel.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
And just,
We need
I got a prop.
we for sure need this prop.
Prop.
Oh my god, it is rubber. How has Eunice not torn that thing apart?
Well, we put it up in a higher spot, but it's sponsored by the State Bar of Michigan. He clearly got it at some judge conference, but she has processed and understands what his job is and that he can rule on things. So she understands what he does professionally. Now, cue to finally having a complete understanding of what I do. She knows I'm on TV, but she doesn't really grasp it. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
you know me, I'm never one to be like, hey, everybody. I'm not like one of those people. And so we're at this group event with all of her friends, and the parents are all there. And
Yeah.
I walk in, and Emma stands up and she goes, hey, everyone, help me. Hank is here. And I just wanted to sink through the ground. Now, all the parents know who I am, and they're all five, but I was just like, oh my God.
Wait. Wait. Wait, what?
So when
First
we're
of all,
in group settings now, she refers to me as "Help me, Hank," and it horrified. I mean, I'm proud of everything I do and all that stuff, but
you're
it's like embarrassing because she
you're
like gets it now.
you're very red. Like
Yeah,
very red after that story.
I'm embarrassed by it.
No. Well, you know what? She's just so proud of you, Help Me Hank, She really is. You just help people and she's proud and she wants to announce it to everyone. I think
But
it's great.
I was thinking about it in a much larger context. Did you have an episode or moments where your daughters were like, "My daddy won the Super Bowl"?
No, I still don't think they really get that quite yet. I
Okay,
do now they understand that Matthew plays football, but I think that came from like kids at their school and
okay,
kids being like, "Wait, your dad's this person?" And they're like, "Why do you think my dad's cool?" And then all of a sudden, that's when it started clicking for them. I mean, I would take them to these games and there's thousands of people watching and cheering and they are just like, "Oh, just another day for dad." Like they just
right,
didn't really, which I kind of loved, obviously. And I told Matthew the other day, I said, I kind of love that you're still playing because our daughters are going to remember it.
yeah,
Which is kind of awesome. Now, I will say, I don't envy at all the fact that Matthew is playing in a professional sport at the age of 37. Like I thought I did because I was like, what, your job like during the off season is just stay in shape. Like people do that and it's not their job, or people even don't like want to do that and they have to. And honestly, this past month, like watching him having to like he's downstairs in our gym and kind of just like getting his body back in order,
hmm,
Hank, it like makes me it gives me anxiety because when I wake up and I don't want to work out, I don't do it.
right,
Right? He
yeah.
doesn't have that choice. It is like off season and every day he is in the weight room training and doing like mobility and like think of 17 years of that. Really longer, but
I mean,
17 years.
when you really think about it, he's been getting thrown around that field since like middle school.
Yes, but where it was his job. Like
Yeah.
17 years of having to make sure you are in shape to play a sport where you are going to get run at like chased by way faster and way stronger people and making sure your body is ready to be hit and also try and get away from those hits. I don't know. It is honestly, I always thought I envied it because I was like, so great. You just like stay in shape for your job. But now that we are older, I'm like, that fucking sucks.
I didn't really comprehend all of that. Obviously, I have a much better understanding of it being with him after games and seeing his body. But did a deep dive yesterday because one of the Detroit Lions, Frank Ragnow, announced his retirement, and he's
Who
29.
Yes.
And
Congrats to him, by the way. He
congrats to him. Just seems like a stand-up human being.
he's the best.
Such a nice guy. But in the article, he said he woke up and he was, preparing to go back, this season. And he was like, I woke up and I said, my body can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I could push it, but I don't think I should.
Like it gives me chills of how much respect I have for that, because
Yeah.
these guys have worked their whole lives for this, and he is technically young, but he's a lineman too, and I mean, it's constant just
He's
beating.
middle, right? He's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a center. So like it is something that I truly like. When I saw it, it surprised Matthew as well. When I told him about it, and he texted him immediately, but I looked at Matthew and said, I find that pretty awesome that he was able to take a step back and say, yeah, I could do this, but you know what? My body is hurting and it's tired. And we forget that these guys have one body to live in the rest of their lives, literally the rest of their lives. He's 29, like you said, 29 years old.
29.
And
29.
he is already hurting. Think about that. Like that is going to be something that every morning now he wakes up and he's aching and in pain. And I'm not saying it wasn't worth it. I'm sure it was. I don't know. He can tell me when he's 90. But that is something, there's something to be said about the guys who can wrap their heads around, okay, you know what? My body can't do it anymore. And I will say, like, I think quarterbacks are lucky in the fact that they don't get hit. They don't have to practice. And the fact of like linemen practice and hit each other every day. So they are hitting every day during the season.
Yeah.
But quarterbacks don't have to go through that. So that's, I mean, honestly, Matthew, no way would Matthew have lasted this long at any other position. Maybe punter and kicker and long snapper, but that's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I respect it. And watching Matthew this offseason do what he was doing and just knowing like, holy hell, there's another season, coming up soon. But like, again, I would wake up mornings and be like, I don't want to work out. And I'd go downstairs and he'd be, lifting, running, getting in the sauna, doing the cold tub. And I just was like, God, I'm tired for you.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted for you.
I think people have this misconception too that if they stop playing, like let's take Ragnow for example at 29, that all their physical problems go away because they're not being hit and going through. No, those injuries they sustained, I mean, the worst being some concussions, and that stays with them. And unfortunately, with age, only gets worse.
It is. It's always on the top of my mind with Matthew.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and watching him get up in the morning, and again, he is in great shape right now. He feels good, but he's old for this game. So like the first hit, it ain't like he's gonna spring chicken and gonna like, it's gonna take some time to recover. So, but anyways, this is a vulnerable mom moment that I'm gonna share with you. Last night we get home from our vacation, or April and Robin's wedding, which was so beautiful, by the way. I love how weddings kind of take the shape of the people. Like it was very much them.
Okay.
Which I loved. And there were obviously some people there. It was entertaining all around. Let's just say that. So, I'm sorry. I'm not going to divulge stuff like that.
No, they're so sweet. And I, sent her messages because I thought she just looked.
Oh,
I mean, she's beautiful with no makeup on. Like,
I know.
Just like on like, whoa.
She
Anyways,
looked.
So your mom moment.
Yes, my mom moment. So we get home, and obviously we hadn't seen our kids in like 3 days, 2.5. And for me, it wasn't long enough. And I know people are gonna roll their eyes and go, "Really?" And I'm like, no. Like I need breaks from my kids, just like everyone else does. We had just gotten back from Dallas with them, and obviously traveling with kids, as everyone knows, is hard. But we get home, and Tyler. I love her so much. I really do. But Tyler, her new thing is, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Hey, mommy, can I tell you something? Mommy, guess what? Can I tell you something? Within 5 minutes of being home, was like, Tyler, you need to calm down. Stop talking. I need 5 minutes. And she looked at me and she said, you've been gone for 3 days. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, okay, well, let's just like go over what is a better way for you to talk to me. And that is just talk to me. You don't have to ask me if you can tell me something. If I'm talking or your sisters are talking, you say, excuse me, and I'll either say 1 second or, the whole thing. But she's like, okay, mommy, okay. And then just continues to do it, right? Because she's 4 still. So, like, and I'm trying to remind myself that she's still only 4. She turns 5 soon, thank goodness. I feel like every time they turn an age, things change. That's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
So, like, the 4, I'm still sitting on the 4, but then I'm tucking her into bed. And this has been kind of eating at me for about the past 6 months. My kids don't really have bedtime routines. They're very easy to put down.
Hmm.
You witnessed it when we were here. It's kind of, yes, like they know, okay, once it's bedtime, they're upstairs, teeth are brushed, they're going to the bathroom, they're getting to bed. There's no like reading to each other. And I understand that people might not like understand this, but my girls kind of do everything downstairs, include reading to each other. If they have a question on a word, of course, Matthew and I are around to help them through it. But we go upstairs, it's bed. So Tyler over the past 6 months, and I used to sing to Tyler more than any of my other kids before she went to bed. Honestly, when she was like 2 and 3, it used to like put her to sleep. She'd just start
Oh,
sucking her thumb and it was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So that's about the only nursery rhyme I know. Okay. So over the past 6 months, she has started to ask me to sing it again. And we kind of stopped for a while. And at first I was like, of course, of course. And then I was like, every other night. Okay. I can't, this is just, I couldn't, because when we're putting you down, we're putting you down. And then it's just like, mommy, will you sing to me? And this is where I tell myself, I'm like, she's not going to ask forever. But
yeah.
I don't know if you ever do this. I'm fucking tired. Like
Yes.
even that extra, and it makes me so sad to even say this, like, even that like extra 15 minutes with her or 15 seconds feels long, which is a horrendous thing to say. But I'm sitting there last night and she asked me, saying, mommy, will you sing me Twinkle, Twinkle? And I said, yes, baby, of course. And I walked out and I like started to tear up. Matt's like, what's wrong? I was like, I mean, I feel like a horrendous mother because she will ask me to do one simple thing before putting her down. And I will do it now once every 4 times. And I will blame it on something. I'll say, you know what? Do you think you deserve a twinkle, twinkle after you hit your sister today? And she go, no. And that is not the fucking reason I'm not singing her twinkle, twinkle. Like it has been eating at me and I don't know why. I think I'm just exhausted at the end of the day. I also know now when I sing to her, there's a question after. It's not like it puts her to bed anymore. It just like is another 15 seconds with her. But I don't know if any other moms like go through this. Like I'm doing my best to try and say yes to this. And I know it's not a lot, but damn, do you feel like shit when you say no?
Yeah.
And I want it to be like, and Matthew's like, it's okay to say no. Like, it's okay if you're not going to sing to her every night. It's okay. But fuck, it feels like I'm the worst if I can't take. I mean, and I'll even sing it fast, like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, how I want. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just been. Do you have anything like that like you have done for a long time for Emma, and all of a sudden it just has gotten to the point where you've gotten one too tired, or 2 it just might not make sense anymore. And in my defense, I'm saying it doesn't make sense anymore. It's not like you're going to bed when I do it, and it's also just setting you up to think of a question. Literally, it gives her the 15 seconds to think of a question she can ask me.
I think every single parent has exactly that. And every single parent every day is riddled with guilt about something. We have a very structured bedtime routine that involves a story, that involves me laying down for a few minutes. And sometimes I'll get up after 30 seconds because I'm like, I need a little time. And she'll be like, that wasn't long enough. Or Boo Boo lays down longer. And I'm like, well, Boo Boo doesn't do this and that. And that. And then in my head, I'm saying that. And I'm just like, there's just always something.
Yeah.
Every parent has that.
I didn't honestly think about the fact that she could compare y'all.
She does sometimes, and for the most part, she doesn't. But sometimes you keep a clock and a thing in your own head, and but every single parent feels exactly what you feel. I felt like shit last week because she had, all these events are happening, and it's wonderful. And the parent moms and all the groups, I love all the work that they do. But there's a lot of things that happen during the day for the last like 10 or 12 days of school, and I can't make them all. But I told her I went last week to the choir thing where she yawned halfway through it. Then there was a field thing, and I said, Daddy's going to be there for field day. And she's like, okay. But I wasn't like setting up the field stuff. Well, as I was getting ready to go to field day, I cut myself shaving. And I don't mean like on my skin. I cut my lip. Like you can see it right there.
Oh, shit.
And it was shooting blood. Shooting blood. And I'm like, I can't go to field day. I had a napkin on my face. It was covered in blood. I looked like a crime victim. And so I did not go. And as soon as she got home, she's like, you told me you were going to go to field day. And I'm like, remember when Daddy was bleeding? Then, of course, that thing turned into a scab. I go to a guy's weekend and they're all like, so you have herpes? I'm like,
I would have thought it. I'm not going to lie. I feel like literally everyone has herpes. I don't know why. Does your generation have herpes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm clean over here and I know you are too.
Yeah.
But it is very nerve-wracking because I feel like you can get it from like taking a sip after somebody.
People have herpes? Like it's a thing?
Yeah,
Hank,
like
everybody has herpes.
Yeah, everyone
What?
has herpes. It's like 70% or higher than that.
Will you fact check that? How do you not know this?
But like what kind of herpes? Like the no-no zone part of herpes or
No,
just like having a
oral.
cold sore? Aren't there two different types?
Yeah.
Yes, there's herpes A and there's herpes A and B.
See, now your nurse training is coming in.
No, it's not because that's all I got. One, yes, is transmitted through saliva or other secretions.
I have the
I
answer.
hate that word.
Ew, secretions. I have the answer.
Okay, Kira has the answer.
I have the answer for us. It's approximated that 50% to 80% of American adults have oral herpes, which is the cold sores around the mouth or blisters. HSV1 is a technical virus.
Hank's face.
How many people have the herpes that affects your no-no zone?
Genital herpes.
Yeah.
Horrible word.
This is such a great podcast. So glad we're talking about this.
We went from parental guilt to genital herpes. We're giving the people a little bit of everything.
It's what they want.
They're
We're
here
giving them
too.
everything but herpes. We won't give them that.
That should be our slogan. The morning after with Kelly and Hank, everything but herpes.
I'm dead.
Okay, genital herpes affects approximately 13% of the global population between 15 and 49 years, which is ASV2. So a lot less.
Yeah.
And a reminder, it's only transmitted if you have a sore.
Yeah. So if it's active, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's active, and maybe I drink some drink that I think is mine. It's not mine. Makes me nervous. Just putting it out there. Watch drinks for a lot of reasons. I've talked about function on this podcast a lot. I found out a lot about myself going through all this testing, but I chose function because it is the best in the world for testing. It's an all-in-one health platform with over 100 advanced lab tests covering your entire body. It's 5 times more than the average physical. Comprehensive and focused on critical biomarkers, it offers testing twice a year. It's available across the US and super easy to use. It's recommended by Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, Dr. Casey Means, and hundreds of health experts. Listen, yes, there are other testing out there, but this is the one to do, guys. It is honestly incredible and easy to look over. So they're kicking off the summer. They are sharing their Long Live campaign. Long Live is a celebration of everyday moments that make life worth staying healthy for. For me, this means long live barbecues, long live late summer nights with my kids, long live, I don't know, taking road trips during the summer. I mean, it's worth living for and being healthy for. In the spirit of long live and taking control of your health, you can get a $100 credit towards your annual membership at www.functionhealth.com/morningafter. This $100 credit is only for the first 1,000 listeners. Sign up at www.functionhealth.com/morningafter. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game, shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll find you options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states.
Back to the guilt.
Back to the guilt. Perfect. Let's go there.
Everybody has it. I mean, I
Yes,
just think
I
everybody has it.
understand.
Also, you have a very different setup because when your kids go to bed, it's not long after that you go to bed.
Oh, yeah, no.
So you're tired. Like
Yeah.
you're ready to go. It's not like you're putting them, you're skimping on that bedtime to like go downstairs and have margaritas. Like you're
No.
tired. You're ready to go night yourself.
I know, but I just again, I want to be better. But again, I was gone for 3 days. I come back and she asked me, and I did it, but reluctantly.
Yeah.
Like, how terrible is that? I don't know. I need to remember she's my baby, and she's still only 4 years old, and I've got to I just have to be better with her and a lot more patient, because Matthew and I are both losing patience with that one. She just doesn't shut up. We made a rule that she couldn't talk until she ate her dinner, because she would talk the entire dinner and never eat. 45 minutes later, she'd be there eating because everyone left. No one to talk to.
I love her so much. She is my spirit animal. And what's funny is I didn't think that she was going to be your like drama queen.
No.
I really thought it was number 3. And then it flipped. I thought it was going to be Hunter for sure.
I've got to show you something, and we can put it on the YouTube. So if you are listening to this and want to see it, you can go hit the YouTube. I did make it on Instagram. Since I'm back on Instagram, I made a reel. I'm hesitant to share it. So I'm going to share it right here. All right, everybody. This is supposed to be my non-dramatic child. Are you ready? My sweet twins, and then okay. I love her. I do. And you know what? She's got a lot of personality. And I think she has to, because she would get forgotten. And not in a bad way. I always was left at ballparks or at bowling alleys, the mall. Love you so much, Mom. She was busy. She had other children. And if you are forgetful, you will get forgotten. And so she's just really making sure she is unforgettable. And let me tell you what, it's hard.
Were you that child because you were the youngest? Were you the like
No,
that?
I was the easiest child, and I wasn't super loud. My personality was big, but it definitely wasn't like that. Like I went with the flow. No, I was forgettable. I got forgotten. Like I just did what I was supposed to and kind of found my way. I don't know.
Out of those 3 children, if I was a betting man,
Okay.
I would say Chad almost caused your mom to go cuckoo.
Oh yeah. Chad
That your
almost put my mom in the
mom
grave.
and your sister had some throwdowns.
For sure. My sister was a really good kid, though.
She's a really good kid, but she's also very strong-minded.
She is. She really is. I don't know if she really got that way until later on in life. I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. She was a lot older. She was 5 years
But
old.
Chad, for sure.
Chad was Chad, as we know.
He had a lot going on. He has a gigantic personality.
I miss him so much. I really do.
So much fun.
Breaks my heart. What were you gonna ask?
Oh, I wanted to ask, because I think parents talk about birth order a lot. I know I hear about it a lot from my parents. Do you think Hunter and Tyler, if they were flipped, would they have different personalities? And Hank, do you think Emma's personality would be different if she wasn't an only?
I mean, I think for sure birth order matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think if Hunter and Tyler were switched, it would be the exact same. I think Hunter would have the personality Tyler has, and Tyler would kind of lean towards Hunter in a way. Hunter is very kind of like me. She is just like, no one worries about her. She gets her stuff done, kind of flies under the radar, can do I don't know. She just is, she's very easy. She was like that as a baby. You know what? Now that I'm saying this, Tyler was the one that made me never want to have another child because she was so hard. And turns out she's just, consistent with that.
But you know what Hunty does? Hunty pays attention to everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's
Yes.
locked in. She's surveying the room and
Mhm.
she knows who's where and what's going on. Like that's what she does. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, she's gonna
E
be, she's
She
got it.
is. Oh, yeah,
She's
she's very observant, and Sawyer and Chandler, it's really funny because when I was having them, Chandler was supposed to come out first, and she was stubborn. She was, like, butt up and, like, would not come out. They couldn't get her out, and this is C-section, obviously, and so they pulled Sawyer out first. So Sawyer ended up being our firstborn, which was the way that God intended it. Sawyer is very nurturing,
sweet.
everyone's biggest cheerleader. I mean, she will scream and yell for everybody she knows. Chandler is a little more reserved and she's a little more observant. Like she is not, I would say Sawyer's a little more type A. But it's so interesting to see them two because when Matthew and I talk about it, I mean, Sawyer was meant to be first because the way she cares for everybody, and not saying that Chandler doesn't, but Sawyer's just a little more like that's like her intuition is to do that,
Yeah.
you know?
She's a mama's helper. She's a little cub.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
I feel like Emma would be way different if she had siblings.
I think so too. I think Emma's, it's hard for me to guess nature versus nurture, but I think that my influence on her personality is pretty strong. And
Yeah.
she has a very large social circle with people that are all ages and backgrounds. And I think she's just seen that in the life that I live. And
Yeah.
so I think she's just out for it. There's a lot.
I mean, I don't know if Emma could handle another kid. I think she's like, this is my house, my way, or judges. We don't know. Whoever makes the
Yeah.
decisions. But
Yeah.
like, listen, you can come play, but you ain't staying.
Yeah, maybe. She's also very sweet. So I think she could have
Yeah,
her
that's true.
sweet moments too, but she is a dominating personality who Tai Tai does not know how to shut the fuck up.
I
So
know. Oh God.
yeah.
How about Sawyer? Sawyer finally got a word in. Like literally, we told Tyler she had to be quiet last night so that we could talk to our other children that we hadn't seen in 3 days. And Sawyer was like, now I forgot what I was going to say because Ty Ty wouldn't stop talking. I was like, I know, baby. She goes, I'm so out of order. I was like,
Wow.
you're what? She's like, I'm out of order, Mom. I was like,
So
I
intuitive.
mean, Matthew and I both stopped. We're like, I don't know. The way she said it was such just like confidence that she was saying it, and I looked at her, I go, you come by it honestly, baby. I know what you meant though.
Now, this is a very serious question. What is
Okay.
your sweet spot? Because I know you're like, 3 days and you're like, I wasn't really ready. And sometimes every parent needs a break. And I will tell you, I think that it's one of the blessings of divorce, if you will. Although I hate that she divides her time, is that sometimes you do get a little bit of a break. And when I talk to
Right.
other divorced parents, they say the same thing. They're like, yeah, you can regroup, you can reset, you can get ready. What do you
Hmm.
think your sweet spot is for the amount of time where you're like, I'm recharged, I can be the mom I need to be, I really miss my kids, I need to get back? Really, honestly, I'm being serious. Like,
I'm trying. I'm like thinking about it.
okay,
Um, I think I should have 2 days per child.
so
So that's
8.
8. So it's 8 days. No, I mean, that's too long. I would miss my kids,
Yeah.
obviously. And I think the 3 days was short because we had a lot going on within those 3 days with
Mhm.
wedding stuff. It's not really like we had one day where it was kind of up to us. And then we came home. But yeah, I would say like, I mean, honestly, a good trip where we can come home relaxed too. Like maybe we have a night of fun and then the other couple nights we lay low and kind of catch up on sleep and whatnot. I would say 5 days, 4 nights.
Okay, yeah.
What's yours?
I think by the time I get to like a fourth day, I talk to her every single day. When you're gone, do you FaceTime?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I FaceTime every day. But I'd say by the fourth day, I start to get a little anxious.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
say, and I think it's hard too because our kids, when we're gone, I mean, their life is like catapulted. Like they go rock climbing, they go to the play or the kids' play place. They do all these fun things that if we were home, we'd take them to soccer practice on Saturday mornings. And then after that, we're like, figure it out. Like, I'm not no, I'm not, I love you, but I'm not taking you to kids' play place. Your life is a play place. Like, figure it out. But when we have other people caring for our children, sometimes, they will take them to go. And so they enjoy themselves. So we're like FaceTime them. They don't care. They don't miss us. They're like, yeah, we're having the time of our life. We'll see you when you're back. I think that helps us kind of be like, oh, okay, well, why are we rushing home after 2 days,
Yeah.
So,
How hard is that judgment though that you feel as a parent? Whether it's you who puts their stuff out there on
yeah,
social media and you might be at a wedding and the people are like, get back to your kids, or
yeah.
anybody who like, I mean, is it hard to kind of digest that? Because I hate it when people like, especially parents, go after other parents. Like,
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked this. I had something happen to one of my friends I want to talk about, but real quick with that, I didn't take Tyler to Six Flags over Texas. And I heard it from people like, you have another child. Where's your other child? Why isn't your other child with you? And I'm like, because she could ride 3 rides. And
yeah,
the fact that I'm even thinking I have to defend myself to these people that I don't know, yeah, that means judgment matters to me. And I said that before. Like, I'm not that I'm not that person that can just like rub things off and like whatever you say doesn't hurt me. I'm just not that. And I would say being a parent, being a mom is my biggest job. And so when you are throwing criticism my way about really the one job I have and the most important job of my life, it's going to hit me. And so I think that's I think that's every, but I think we just need to do a better job. And I'm not even talking about social media. I had a friend who asked someone to come over to cut their kid's hair, and she was upstairs. The kids were downstairs, and one of the kids was like, "Hey, go get mom." And the girl yelled, "Ma," and they're like, "Don't do that. Remember, she said not to do that." And so the mom came downstairs and the woman cutting the hair was like, yeah, they were, scared that they couldn't yell in the house. And she was like, well, yeah, I would rather my kids come find me than scream in the house. And she was like, don't you think that's a little harsh? And I'm
oh,
like, I'm sorry. She was telling me this. I'm like, she was in your home saying this to you? Like, first of all, I respect the fact that she has set up for their children like, hey, you're not going to scream and yell in the house. If you need me, come find me. Just like I come find you. I don't scream. Well, I scream their names, but she doesn't. So like, you need to come find me. But this woman thought she had the right to be like, don't you think that's a little harsh? I would have been like, you know what? I will pay you in full, but you can leave. Thank you so much for your time.
I would have gone on her. And listen, every parent has different rules. At some house, it might be take your shoes off before you get in. It might be you can't go get a snack unless you ask us for permission. Whatever it is that's going on across the street or down the road or another, that's their thing, and you got to be okay with it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and do
period.
you want to raise the kid?
Yeah, I mean, no.
You want my 4 kids to raise? Hell, have at it. Like, good luck. There's a reason. I do think there's a reason parents parent the way they parent their kids. It's because that's what their kids respond to. And that's how their house runs. So for us to judge that and to get to think we know better when we don't know their kids at all,
Yeah,
it seems stupid to me.
that's harsh. Oof, I don't like that.
Yeah. So if you are trolling people like Hank on Instagram, okay, love you. Just
One
kidding.
person, Gwyneth Paltrow, and she deserved it.
Okay. Well, if you're trolling parents for how they're parenting, take a second before you write it down and say, you know what? Could I do it any better? And if you say yes, maybe just pat yourself on the back and move on. And silence.
Because and I will tell you later, that Gwyneth Paltrow comment came back to bite me in the butt.
Wait, no, you have to tell us.
Because I didn't realize that I had a very close personal connection, like 1 degree away from Gwyneth. And that person was like, I'm very close with Gwyneth. And I was like, oh. And then I was at an airport flying home, and we got into a heated text exchange. And I also ended, me. I was like, and by the way, I'll talk all this shit about Gwyneth. If she called me right now and said, come over, I'm serving you
No.
slop in my kitchen, I would have flown directly from Savannah, Georgia,
Yeah.
right over to Gwyneth's house.
Can I
And
tell you
no question
something? You're just like every other troll.
asked.
They'll say it on the screen, but the minute you show it face to face, you're like, oh my God, hi, I love you.
I
So
like Gwyneth. I respect her work. I respect what she
I
does.
know.
But don't tell me that it takes 30 minutes to make pancakes.
Okay, we're
Girl,
not getting back on that story
I
because
feel like we need to.
no, we didn't hit any headlines today, but that's okay. Unless you really want to hit one, but
I
we'll hit
have
that.
one that I really want to bring up because I think that this will connect with a lot of people.
Okay, we're connecting it to the end as well. So go ahead.
Did you watch there was a Sports Illustrated fashion show in Miami, and they had a lot of women in it, like Bethany Frankel, Kelly Ben Simone, some reality people you might not
I don't
know,
know who that
but
is.
they're over 50 and they
Okay.
looked fantastic. I
I
encourage you,
love
if you've
that.
not seen it, to go look at the video of Bethany in a thong working this runway. She got eviscerated by people.
Wait, why?
What do you think? You can't be 50 and wear a bikini. You can't be 50 and have implants. You can't be 50
Yeah.
and she is coming back at people. And I think it just kills me how much women are destroyed. And especially a woman like that who looked phenomenal. And
It's
you're killing these people for being happy with themselves.
I hate to say it, I think it's a lot of women on women action there.
Oh,
And to be honest, there's a lot of jealousy involved.
that's
I know I saw Bethany Frankel. That's one of the ones I saw, and she looked fantastic. And if I look like that when I'm 50, I am strutting down. I don't care. It won't be Sports Illustrated, but my ass will be out, and I will be so happy with it. Like, I'm sorry. And yes, maybe there are times where all of us should be in full covering bikinis. There are times for that. When you're with your kids, when you are at a public pool with children, yes, please don't show up in a thong. But when you're walking the Sports Illustrated runway and you look that good and they choose the they choose the bikinis for you.
yeah.
So yeah, they were like, you look great in this. Here you go. And I'm sure she was like, thank you for the vote of confidence, Sports Illustrated. I'm going to strut my ass off on this runway now. Like, come on.
Give
Anyways.
women a break. And what I love about her, and maybe she'll come onto the pod, we'll send her this clip, is she today on IG said, I need all of you to know I did not look like that 2 hours before that show. And any celebrity that you see who tells you that's what they look like when they wake up is full of shit. It
Yeah.
took 2 hours and 5 people to have me look like that. Yes, I eat well, I work out, I do stuff, but that's not happening Monday through Friday. That was a glam team that put me together for one moment in time.
And you know what? Good for her. Like I am so I felt it after the Garth Fisher podcast of ours. Like people just wanting to say whatever they wanted to say to me, and I'm going, you know what? I'm not going to apologize. One, I work my ass off to look good, and I'm going to flaunt it however I want to flaunt it when I want to flaunt it. So if you have a problem with that, don't look at it.
So, but you, who's also in incredible shape and takes care of themselves, do you sometimes feel like people come after you if you're like, I'm going to wear a bikini today? And you shouldn't wear a bikini. You have 4 kids. Why are you wearing a bikini? I mean,
oh yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I was gonna put some like photos in the reel that I shared from Cabo of some bikini stuff that I was in with like friends or with Matthew, and felt like I couldn't.
Wow.
Felt like I shouldn't, because I just felt like there was a lot going on, but like I just honestly felt like I was gonna get crushed for wearing a bathing suit that I was on a vacation with my husband, and
one that you feel good in.
I feel sexy in, I feel great in. So like we do as a culture, we come down on these women, and I'll talk about it next week, but I've felt the pressure to kind of move from the version of what I am to like a classier version.
Wow.
And we'll talk about that next week, because that was actually on my topics list. But we'll hit that next week. So we have a Father's Day guest coming on Monday, and it's Matthew. So I'm going to talk to Hank and Matthew about all things girl dad oriented, which I'm excited about. I mean, there should be more days dedicated to dads, more days dedicated to moms, but here we are. Also, Hank, happy Pride Month.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Yep.
So guys, tune into that. If you have not listened to the Jenna Johnson episode that is out right now, she was so fun. Honestly, I had no idea this stuff with Dancing with the Stars, like what all it entailed. So if you're a fan of the show, you should go listen to it, even if you're not a fan of the show, because it is kind of crazy.
We hope you guys have a good rest of the week. Remember to rate 5 stars, leave a great review if you have the opportunity to, and just tell your friends about the podcast. We'd appreciate it.
We would appreciate that. All right. Until then, have a splash.
Make a splash.